Before we formally start the conference, we would like to invoke the blessings of Ma Saraswati with a lamp lighting ceremony. I would request all the dignitaries on the dais to proceed for the lighting of lamp. Before we formally start the conference, we would like to invoke the blessings of Ma Saraswati. For a nation to grow and grow fast, innovation and entrepreneurial spirit is a must-have. Though a lot of that burgeons with conducive macro and micro environmental prevailing, India is witnessing the era of entrepreneurial economy, a must-have for a nation to grow, prosper, and be able to generate employment for aspirational generation. Rajasthan is a state. It is also trying its bit to exploit entrepreneurial skills and business acumen of Rajasthan natives. How far we have come and what more can be done? We would like to explore the answer to these questions in this seminar. The theme of the seminar, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, encompasses this progressive approach, denoting the importance of the new age leadership in influencing the youths of today and shaping the Rajasthan at large. Allow me to introduce the dignitaries on the dais. Chief guest of the session, Shri Rao Rajendra Singh Ji, former Deputy Speaker of Rajasthan Legislative Assembly. He was elected MLA for consecutively 3 times from 2003 to 2018 from Shahpura, Jaipur. In 2013, he received the Best MLA Award in Rajasthan. Shri Rao Rajendra Singh Ji is the titular Maharaj of Shahpura Manohar. May I request our director, Professor Prabhat, to welcome Sri Rao Rajendra Singh Ji, who has been welcomed. As Jaipuria tradition, we follow a formal invite for the guests with a green certificate. A tree has been planted in the name of the dignitary as Sundarbans Jungle. Growth of the tree can be tracked with the tracking number given at the bottom of the certificate. We have guest of honor for the session, Sri Ashok Kumar Jain, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary of Government of Rajasthan. Sri Ashok Jain, a senior IAS officer of 1981 batch of Rajasthan cadre. Sri Jain, in his long career, has held many important portfolios in Rajasthan bureaucracy and contributed significantly towards the penetration of industrial policy of the state. Shri Ashok Jain was Chief Secretary of Rajasthan from 1st July 2017 to 31st December 2017. He was also Additional Chief Secretary of Social Justice and Empowerment Department, Government of Rajasthan. His contribution in industrial development of the state is very significant. May I request our Director, Professor Prabhat Pankaj, to welcome to the lecture with a green welcome. We have with us Sri Rajendra Bhanavat sir, retired IAS, former MD of RIPO, Government of Rajasthan. Sri Rajendra Bhanavat is was the ex-managing director of RIPO. Sri Bhanavat has rich experience of working with Government of India for the last 3 decades. He has been an excellent scholar throughout his education. He has made corporations like RSMDC, RTDC, and Rajasthan Small Industrial Corporation, etc., quality producing and profit generating industries. With his able and dedicated leadership, he has held position of Divisional Commissioner Jaipur, Bharatpur Collector, and DM of Dungarpur and Bara. He has contributed towards the solution of many administrative and social issues which were prevalent in the respective districts earlier. May I request our Director, Professor Prabhat Pankaj, to welcome Sri Rajendra Bhanavat with a green welcome. It is my privilege to introduce Sri Digvijay Davaria, the Chair, PhD CCI Rajasthan Chapter. In the year 1992, with the mission to save trees, he developed wood substitute products and set a manufacturing unit of PVC profile extrusions in the brand name of Polywood, making doors, windows, false ceilings, wall panels, etc. The wood substitute product manufactured by the company helps to save approximately 5 to 7 lakh trees per day. He has held many positions like President of Rotary Roundtown, Regional Chairman JATF, Member CII, NAREDCO, CDOs, President Malviya Industries Association, President Laghu Udyog Bharat, polo player with his own team Bollywood, trained scuba diver and passionate squash player. May I request our Director, Professor Prabhat Pankaj, to welcome Shri Digvijay Davaria with a green welcome. Before inviting our Director, Sir Dr. Prabhat Pankaj for conference introduction, allow me to introduce him. Dr. Prabhat Pankaj is an international researcher on happiness and well-being, a master in economics with gold medal, and PhD in applied economics. He teaches a course on happiness and well-being to B school students. Dr. Prabhat is a Harvard-trained leader in higher education and currently working as the director of Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur. He was an invitee at World Government Summit Dubai in 2019 by the Ministry of Happiness UAE. He delivers session on student-centric teaching, learning, outcome-based education, and happiness. IIM Ahmedabad has written a case study on student engagement and learning with Dr. Prabhat, which Dr. Prabhat started at Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur. I would like Dr. Prabhat Pankaj sir, our director, to give the welcome address for the seminar.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you, and welcome to the 6th edition of Rajasthan Seminar. Dignitaries on the dais, Chief Guest Sri Rao Rajendra Singh Ji, Guest of Honor Sri Ashok Kumar Jain Ji, Sri Rajendra Bhanavat Ji, Sri Digvijay Davaria Ji, Chairman PhD CCI Rajasthan Chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request all of you to join your hands together. This is a very distinguished panel. and full of experience. They have dealt with the issues at hand. They have been at the helm of the affairs. So it will be really a privilege for all of us to listen to them. The theme of this conference is innovation and entrepreneurship. We have started this conference 6 years back, and with the two specific objectives. The first objective of starting Rajasthan series was to contextualize the learning for our students and our faculty. We are situated in Rajasthan, we are situated in Jaipur, and educational institution which is situated in a state is not connected with the state is not going to help us in any way. So we have actually tried our level best to connect ourselves with the society through our WIS program. The WIS program is Winter Internship for Societal Happiness. Here we have actually signed MOUs with 15, 16 NGOs. The students pick up one NGO and they go and work for 40 to 100 hours for them. It's a credit program. So this is one internship that we are giving, so they are connected with the society. Second initiative we have taken to contextualize learning is to start our own leadership laboratory. So in the leadership laboratory, what we do is that our faculty, they write case studies from Rajasthan. So originated in Rajasthan, case study about person, case study about organization, case study about the system. A lot of case studies have been written by our faculty. We have also published books on Rajasthan-based cases. And some of these cases are brought in the classroom, and students actually sit over there and talk about that case. Case study is a very interesting way of bringing relevance in the classroom. And when the case is on the Rajasthan, the students are able to actually connect and visualize. Interesting feature of this case study teaching in leadership laboratory is that the protagonist of the case, that is the person or the organization on which the case has been written, the protagonist is requested to come and be present in the discussion when the discussion is being held. So that is the interesting pedagogical innovations that also we have done. Sometimes what happens is that the protagonist is not known to the students, and we don't tell them that the protagonist is here. And the protagonist is sitting somewhere else in the campus, and he is watching the proceedings, and the students are expressing their views, pro, cons, everything. And a lot of heated discussion is generated in the laboratory, and everything is known to the protagonist. And then the protagonist enters the classroom at a certain point of time, and this actually creates a lot of excitement in learning for the students. So one of the very strong pedagogy of learning is excitement. We do not actually understand that how excitement plays a role in learning for the students, how humor plays the role in learning of the students. And the faculty who have actually learned the art of creating excitement, the art of creating humor in the classroom, they are the best rated faculty by the students. And the students have actually vouched that they have learned better from this faculty. And their performance, academic performance also improves. So it has got lots of implications. So it's a multifaceted experience that we have done over here in terms of laboratory, creating the laboratory. The third is the Rajasthan Seminar. Rajasthan Seminar is an intellectual exercise wherein we bring people from different walks of life, the people at the helm of the affairs, from the bureaucracy, from industry, from corporates, from the social field, and they come here and share their knowledge, their experiences. And our faculty also writes research papers. A lot of contributions have been made in this direction. So we are contributing to the policy making through these conferences. So this is the first objective of Rajasthan Seminar. In this series, the kind of themes that we have taken earlier, I can just name a few. A community mixed approach to SDG. So one of the conference actually focused a lot on SDGs. That's one priority that we can see around. Second, another theme was tourism and hospitality ecosystem. Of course, we know that Rajasthan is famous for tourism, but something has happened 2 years, 3 years back, and everything came to a standstill. So how we can actually revamp the entire ecosystem of tourism and hospitality? Is it the same way we should do and it will revive, or should we do something differently? So that was the theme of tourism and hospitality. Third was destination and pathways. This also talked about the investment climate. This talks about the industry. It talks about the agriculture. What is the destination? What is the pathway for the Rajasthan? So this year, we are going to talk about innovation and entrepreneurship. You all know that Rajasthan is a perfect setup for talking about innovation and entrepreneurship. There are many learnings that actually flows from Rajasthan, which other states can learn. But unfortunately, when we look around the data, the numbers, Rajasthan actually lags behind numbers. But the ecosystem is perfect. You talk to anybody, will say, "Oh, Rajasthan is a fertile ground." But how about the numbers? Are we standing here? Are we standing there? There is a lot of gap between cup and the lip. So, it is in our DNA, no doubt, but still we have a long way to go. And therefore, when we are visualizing India at 100 years, the Amrit Kaal and all, global leadership for India, G20 is already with India, under India's leadership. We need to focus more on where the Rajasthan state will be in terms of economic development. That's the first thing that we should talk about, economic development. The second is where the Rajasthan is going to stand in terms of technological upgradation and technological adoption. Because the future is going to be of technology, the AI, the metaverse, the chat GTP. There's a lot of things it's not only going to disrupt one sector or the other, but it's going to disrupt all across all the sectors that we can talk about. You talk about any sector, including the education, it's already been disrupted in a big way by the technology. So how we are going to embrace that and make it to our advantage. The third, in my opinion, is called the leadership, because going global is about leadership. So it's only the leadership quality of human resources that we have. And if you can develop at least two things in them, one is called the communication and second is called the leadership. These are the two legs on which anyone can walk up to any part of the globe. So, this is my firm belief, and this is what I understand from my own experiences. You talk about skill, you talk about small bit of thing that's to be created, but the moment you create communication, make your human resources of the students or young persons in the state, the moment you give them this power of communication and understand the leadership quality and develop the leadership quality in them, the rest of the things actually will follow, because it's the leaders who understand what is skills to be acquired. Because this is something like telling them that you have to do this. It's not going to work that as much as the youth comes forward and says that I want to do this. So this is going to happen. This is a change in the approach that we have to adopt. And this can happen only when we focus more on leadership, more on communication quality. And therefore, it is important that things like Invest Rajasthan Summit in 2020, how it's going to get the result is not just the investment per se, but it's about how we actually look at the leadership quality in the students. The ease of doing business is one thing that we need to actually look at very seriously. MSME is, of course, is a key factor for the growth of Rajasthan. And not only Rajasthan, all over the country. So MSME has to be in the focus. And I'm really happy and glad and gratitude. I want to show my gratitude to PhD CCI. Rakesh ji is sitting over here. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a friend, philosopher, and guide for our institute. And under his leadership, we have been able to force this collaboration with PhD. I'm really happy and glad that we have been able to do this. And this conference is also the result of this big collaboration that we have established with PhD. We want to do more with you, sir, and develop. We have already spoken about industry immersion program for our students and also for our faculty. So one of the things that actually has really worked for the educational institution, it's a model to follow for others, is that it's called the leading by example. So, anything that you want your student to develop, and if your faculty, the providers, who are the providers, if they have not developed that, so it's not going to work as much as you think it will be. So no, this is the big gap that is found in the education sector. KPMG's report, if you look at the service delivery gap, you find that almost like service delivery gap in the education sector is almost like 80%. And in agriculture is about 60%. In industry is about 70%. So what it says is that the moment you fill in the service delivery gap, your growth is going to go up by 4 to 5% as it is. You don't have to do anything extra for that. all you have to do is to deliver what you are supposed to deliver. That is the call of the day, right? And this actually is the result of the kind of procrastination that we are in, the kind of proactive, not having that much of proactive approach, that we are not very mindful of what we are doing. So the moment we develop this kind of mindfulness by leading the example, things can go very, very well for us. Thank you so much for this, and I would like to welcome each one of you once again to this conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And so I also extend my heartfelt thanks to PSDCCI for giving us association and support in terms of organizing the conference. And I would like to invite Shri Digvijay Davaria ji for the introduction of PSDCCI and the conference.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome you in this important seminar, Rajasthan 2030, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, being organized by the Jaipuria Institute of Management in association with the PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries. I would like to extend my very warm welcome to Shri Rajendra Singh, former Deputy Speaker, Rajasthan Legislature Assembly, Government of Rajasthan. Shri Ashok Kumar Jain, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary, Government of Rajasthan. Shri Rajendra Bhanawat, retired IAS, former Managing Director, Recode, Government of Rajasthan. Dr. Prabhat Pankaj, Director, Jaipuria Institute of Management. Eminent panelists in subsequent sessions, other distinguished guests from trade and industry, students and friends from the media. Rajasthan is endowed with the varieties of natural resources, deep-rooted entrepreneurship amongst its people, locational advantages, climatic conditions, etc. Rajasthan entrepreneurs have significantly contributed to the nation building by setting up industrial ventures in key strategic sectors across the country. Over the years, a robust policy framework and a favorable ecosystem have been created in the state, which has given tremendous impetus to the industrialization by harnessing various natural and other resources. Rajasthan is truly called a land of opportunities, be it as tourism, mining, handicraft, gems and jewelry, textile printing, solar and other renewable energy, stone sector, etc. These days, the emerging areas include the medical devices, healthcare, fintech, furniture and toys, petrochemicals, renewable energy, green hydrogen, pharmaceuticals, electronic vehicles, medical, eco-wellness tourism, Ayush, and few other names. Entrepreneurship and the innovations are essential prerequisites for gainful harnessing of the opportunities and the resources through various industrial and other ventures. With a more focus on the startups, IT sectors, artificial intelligence, the entrepreneurship and the innovations are being increasingly based, resulting in the industrialization at all levels in the state. With the current business environment, which is full of opportunities, cross-border trade and the trade and commerce and the availability of all essential inputs in the form of the raw material, logistic availability of all essential skilled manpower, finances, proximity to the market, connectivity, etc. Rajasthan is poised for a rapid and a quantum jump for industrialization by 2030. I foresee the presence of the large number of first-generation entrepreneurs, the various MSMEs, and new age businesses in the Rajasthan, especially value-added agri-products, renewable energy, tourism, art and craft, etc., which will take industrial ranking of the Rajasthan in the country. And Rajasthan should be in the first top 3 states. PLG Chamber of Commerce, which is a national chamber of commerce, is closely working with the government of Rajasthan and other stakeholders for the development of the industry, trade and commerce in the state, and facilitating entrepreneurs for converting their innovative business ideas into the viable industrial projects. I am confident that the deliberations in the subsequent technical sections would be very enriching and useful for the participants. Thank you all. Jai.
I would like to invite now Shri Ashok Jain sir for his inaugural speech.
And dignitaries on the dais, audience, dignitaries in the audience, students, media, ladies and gentlemen. The theme of today's this conference is Rajasthan 2030. Its focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. When I was called upon to come here by my friend Rakesh Gupta here, I was thinking as to what to say on this occasion. Because innovation and entrepreneurship is something that can be talked about more by the young people than a person like me. So I thought I would rather touch upon some important areas where focus should lie from the government side as well as the private sector, so that Rajasthan achieves overall development with particular reference to certain sectors by the year 2030, as is the core focus of this seminar. So I will touch upon some 5 or 6 core areas, not all. The list could be very long and you can always add issues to such list. Rajasthan, as you know, is a very large state, having a very large population. It is known for its rich culture, historic monuments, and scenic landscapes. However, the state is faced with a number of challenges in various sectors that need to be addressed, as I said earlier, for the overall development. And the major challenges before Rajasthan are, to my mind, in the areas of industrial development, employment, startups and gig economy, which closely relates to innovation and entrepreneurship, agriculture and drinking water, as that is the main core challenges of challenges being faced by the state, and the emerging areas of renewable energy. For the next foreseeable future of say 8 to 10 years or by 2030 or so. Now, talking about industrial development, Rajasthan has been striving to become an industrial hub for the last few decades. Rakesh has worked in industries department. I have also worked in the same department and in the other related departments. We have been trying to, emerge as a manufacturing hub, industrial hub in the northern India. But we have not been able to successfully achieve that goal so far. One of the major challenges before Rajasthan is to improve infrastructure facilities in the industrial areas like roads, power, water supply, and also improve the labor supply, supply of skilled manpower, and such other things. We have to focus on providing better policies and incentives to attract more investors, particularly in the IT sector. Because in my mind, IT sector is the one which can give jobs in large number, and also it doesn't harm the environment, and it doesn't require lot of space areas. The state government should also work towards increasing the availability of skilled manpower to meet the needs of the industry. I think my friend Divya Avariyaji would agree with this issue. Employment. Now, Rajasthan has a large workforce, but still unemployment is very high in the state, and we need to address this issue as early as possible. Otherwise, social unrest may also rise, which will hamper further growth. The challenge before the state is to create more job opportunities, particularly in the private sector. It is not going to be sufficient to create job opportunities in the government or public sector undertakings, because that doesn't suffice. The government should especially focus on promoting the growth of manufacturing and IT sector. Manufacturing and IT are the two major sectors where the focus should lie to create jobs. And additionally, the state needs to promote the growth of services sector, because services sector is where again job opportunities are in plenty, and Rajasthan happens to be endowed with many resources, particularly in tourism, healthcare, and IT can be another major area where we can create large scale employment. And talking about startups and gig economy, Rajasthan government of Rajasthan has been trying to give push to startups and the gig economy in the last about 10 to 15 years. However, the state still lacks a robust ecosystem for startups. It faces challenges of lack of funding, inadequate infrastructure, and limited access to mentorship and support. The state government should work towards creating a more conducive environment for startups by providing better, more aggressive policies, incentives, and funding. Additionally, the government should focus on creating a strong support system for the gig economy, which can provide employment opportunities to the youth. As we can see, the gig economy workers are increasing in number, and private sector is providing employment in this sector in a very big way. One good idea in this sector could be to bring state's own law to protect such gig workers and for their welfare. A law can be brought by the state also, if not central. Agriculture, as you know very well, Rajasthan is predominantly an agricultural state. It is the mainstay of Rajasthan economy. It provides livelihood to a large number of people. However, this sector is facing a number of challenges like water scarcity, decrease in yield in many crops, and lack of inputs in modern technology. The state government should work towards promoting the use of modern technology in agriculture. In my view, modern technology is the only answer for agriculture to grow and sustain the requirement of food for the large population. The technology, use of modern technology has to be promoted in agriculture, particularly for irrigation, supply chain management, and storage technologies. The government should focus on promoting the growth of horticulture and organic farming and intensive polyhouse farming, which have potentials to increase the incomes of the farmers. Then another big challenge before Rajasthan is drinking water. And we all know that drinking water is scarce in the entire state. And we are going to face severe drinking water crisis if not addressed properly in the foreseeable future. The government should work towards augmenting water supply systems, promoting conservation practices, and should also focus on promoting rainwater harvesting and creating storage of rainwater in particularly in the rural areas. That can tackle the drinking water issue in some way. Renewable energy, as I said earlier, is another very important area for Rajasthan, and we have a large potential for renewable energy, both in solar and wind power. And you already know that a large number of plants, solar power plants and wind power plants, have come up in the state, in the western side of the state. But still, a lot of work needs to be done in this area to tap the potential fully. The state should now work towards promoting the growth of renewable energy, in particularly in the solar energy, which can provide very cheap and sustainable source of power. And here the focus should lie not only on allotting more and more land for solar power parks, but on making the solar power plants use the land more efficiently. The available land and available whatever land has been already allotted should be utilized more and more efficiently and fully, so that we tap our potential to the fullest extent. So friends, these are some of the areas which I wanted to touch upon, but you can always think think about and add more issues to this list, and you can deliberate upon such issues during the course of the seminar and come out with your own solutions and your own suggestions, which I think you would. To conclude, I would only say that Rajasthan is faced with a number of challenges in various sectors, but these challenges are addressable. There is no need to think that the challenges cannot be addressed. Addressing these challenges, however, requires concerted effort from the government as well as the private sector, and also institutions like the JIMM, from where thought can emerge. You are the think tank. You can be the think tank for the government. And also, I expect that after this seminar also, some ideas will emerge which can reach up to the relevant sectors, relevant levels of the government. In my view, policy support from the government is very, very important in order to develop any area. In whatever development, whatever issue, policy support has to be very good and effective. But policy alone cannot work. Policy alone is not sufficient. It has to be matched by concrete and very fast action at the ground level by the concerned bureaucracy. Unless that is done, we cannot hope to have overall and holistic development of the state. This is what I wanted to say. In short, thank you very much for inviting me here in this morning, and particularly thanks to Pankaj and Rakesh, my friend, who forced me to come here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for laying down the foundation and framework which will be deliberated upon in this conference in the coming session. You very briefly touched upon all the sectors and challenges, opportunity, and some of the solutions which can be worked upon. So I would like Rajendra Bhanawat, sir, to now add to further strengthening what other issues we can ponder upon.
Good morning, friends. Dignitary on the dais, Rajendra Singh, the former Deputy Speaker of the Rajasthan Assembly. Our senior colleague, Shri Ashok Jain sir, former Chief Secretary. Digvijay ji, my friend, Prabhat ji, the Director. All panelists who are going to speak in the subsequent panels, participants and dear students. What I can see the front 3-4 rows consist of the faculty members and the subsequent speakers. I'm going to address more to the people in the other half of this auditorium because the entire seminar is to address their issues to yourself. Therefore, I would seek the attention of the people who are in the backside of this seminar hall. And one thing which Ashok Jain said is that innovation, somebody young should be talking about. But I think that he's right. But it is the youth in oneself that decides whether innovation will take place or not. A young person, 25, may have a heart of an 80-year-old person, and an 80-year-old person may have a kindling of innovation at the right time. So it is not the physical age. It is the age of your thinking, the thought process that you have. So therefore, all of us can innovate. People have innovated in the world for a long, long time. That's not possible. Second thing I want to say is, it is important to have policies, programs, but that is not dependent on you who are sitting in the backside. Let the government do what it is doing. Let the other people do what they are doing. My basic focus will be on you as a young person to see what can you do to innovate. Because if the government doesn't work well, should we not innovate? If the other situations are not favorable to us, should we stop innovating? My therefore thinking is that let others be what they are. Can I as an individual, each one of you, can do something to innovate and bring a change in the society. When I say innovation, I'll explain what comes in the way of innovation and how can we remove those bottlenecks. I just briefly touch upon that. But then innovation is probably an outcome of creativity. Right from the college and university days, you are in this institution, particularly now, the focus is on thinking out of the box, giving a slightly divergent view of everything. But generally in the courses in the university and the schools, what we have been taught is that there is a fixed solution for a fixed problem. In the society, the problems are not fixed. They are not predictable. And anyone who is willing to face unpredictable situation and is willing to address the problem and then find a new solution. That is what is innovation. The ability to think not in different, do many things different, but the ability to do things differently brings about innovation. If you want to change the society, if you want to bring something new, you have to start thinking to do something in the manner in which it has not been done in the past. If you do what has been done in the past, you will get the result what has been obtained in the past. And as we are discussing that Rajasthan is not yet in the forefront, it is because we have not been having enough people to do something which is not just following the past. If you want to maintain the status quo, you can continue to do what has been done in the past and you will reach where the status quo takes us. But if you really want to do something new, then you have to innovate. And entrepreneurship can be taught. Innovation, for being innovative, you have to keep on being very observant. What I would say is that you have to be very receptive to every idea that comes around you. The keen observation in the society, because innovation should not be there to only to help yourself in progressing in your industry that you enterprise that you put up. I think that innovation is worthwhile only when it helps yourself, but also, and more important than that, it helps the society. It helps the nation. If it does not help in doing that, that innovation is not worth trying because it can give you a lot of money, but the type of satisfaction that you want to derive of being useful to the society would come in only when the innovation is such which brings about a change in the culture in the society, the way the things are done. And it doesn't mean invention. You don't need to be a scientist or an engineer or technocrat to bring about innovation. My feeling is that the last person in the last row can teach you many times and give an idea which you can then pick up to then develop into a good enterprise. So entrepreneurial ability will help you in picking up an idea, or you have your own idea and then convert that into a business proposition and then expand it. That is what is the combination of these two. So Prabhat needs to be complemented for bringing these two things together, innovation and entrepreneurship. Innovation by itself doesn't help. It's an idea lying somewhere in colleges. Sometimes you incubate, do something, but the thought dies. But there has to be an enterprising ability, entrepreneurship ability, which takes it forward converts it into a business proposition. I was talking to Digvijay, he must have seen a lot of trees being cut. Everybody sees how the trees are being cut. But then he thought, what can we do to stop cutting of trees, preservation of environment, and also make money for ourselves and bring prosperity, provide employment and this thing. This is what is the type of innovation that is required. Innovation is also not required only in the industrial sector. It is required in all sectors of life. Even if some of you decide to go into the social sector, say, even the entrepreneurship is needed, innovative ideas are needed in the social sector more. As Prabhat was saying, the gap of delivery is too high in all sectors, service, industrial, other sectors, or agriculture also. So our job is to see how the things are being done at present. Just some tinkering of change. You don't need to invent or do science research or to bring about certain innovation. Just observe how the things are being done and start asking questions. Anybody who does not question the way the things are being done today cannot innovate. And I think my appeal to all the young people sitting in the backside of this hall is to start questioning the way the things are being done today. Whether it is in social sector, whether it is in education sector, whether it is in industrial sector. If you don't ask questions, the answers you will not find. And to find answers to these questions, then you will have to come out of this obsession. Why does a person doesn't think creatively? I have tried to look at this situation slightly into depth, and my answers to these are 2, 3, and maybe I just put it before you, and then you can think about it. Whether how can you kindle that flame of innovation that is just trying to burn within you. One is we are too much obsessed with success. Anybody who does something differently, he may succeed, he may not succeed. But obsession with being success takes away your risk-taking capacity. If you do not take risk, higher the risk, higher the gain. But you have to be able to take the risk. And the risk will be taken only when you are willing to do something differently than somebody else did in the past. That is one thing. Second is we are quite bothered about what will the society say. I mean, sometimes the idea appears in the nascent stage. An idea may appear to be absurd. But even the absurdity does not have to be ruled out. Sometimes an idea which appears to be absurd today might prove to be a great idea later on when somebody works on that. So whenever you look around something and you find that something is wrong is happening and you have a suggestion in mind, don't think what will people laugh at me. So this feeling in us, what would the society say? What would other people say? What would my peers say? What will my colleagues say? Don't bother about it. I think somebody must have said the earth is round, and somebody must have not heard about it at that point of time. There are many people in the world who came out with a new solution only when they did not bother for the society. I'm not saying did not bother for the society means not that let society go to hell. What I am saying is that do not bother much about the way society is looking at you. Maybe you might there are two things. One is either you become what the society wants you to become, or you do something which society follows later on. So Prabhat, you were talking about leadership. Following somebody is very easy. I mean, we have sheep also follow, a herd of sheep follow the leader. One person takes away all the sheep wherever it wants to go. But then if you want to be like a leader in the area that you are working, whether it's social sector or any other sector, then you have to stop bothering much for the society. Then one is that your antennas, as I said, your receptivity. You have to be always there. Your sensory organs, when you move around, when you look, which requires a sense of empathy. Without a sense of empathy, you cannot think of creating new things. Because if you think as a business person or an entrepreneur, unless if my property is insured, if my business is insured, why should I bother about what new things are to be done? But yes, if you think about the problems of the common man in the society, whether it is various sectors, Ashok Jain Sahab has talked about a number of sectors which are very crucial for Rajasthan. And therefore, you should be looking at, and these days the technology has made it very easy. So what is happening in different parts of the world, then take an idea, take a clue somewhere, then contextualize it to your situation, and then it can really build it on that. You, because of your entrepreneurial ability, you would be doing a great service to the society and to the country. One more thing which comes to my thinking is that we want to be very unambiguous about what you do. Sometimes I said mention about it, like uncertainty. Uncertainty means this, that you do this and you get this. But some element of tolerance for uncertainty will help you in creating a new solution. Please keep that margin of being uncertain. Because when will you be certain? When somebody has done it in the past, in a particular way, you get a result and then you really leave it at that. So these are some of the thoughts which I thought I'll leave in your mind, and if will be willing, I mean, if the panel permits or after Rao Saab has spoken, in case there are certain questions, you must certainly ask. Any of these seminars, any of these workshops, according to me, is like a glass of water here. Many good people will come and speak to you. Many startups would come and speak to you. But if it's a glass of water which are lit on, whatever the new ideas are poured, they will not enter your mind or the heart. So you have to get out of those, have to have no pre-notion or a pre-thinking or a concept of that you know everything, nothing needs to be known. Then nothing will go inside you. It is like a glass of water with the lid on, so please remove that lid and then have an open mind and have an open thinking. And whosoever comes and speaks on the podium here, you should be able to think that yes, maybe I can catch one idea from here, one idea from there. Even if you go out and if you meet a peon or somebody, maybe he can give me an idea. Anybody walking on the road, anywhere in the organization, outside in the family, inside the family, you will always be getting new ideas. If our receptivity is good, I will have the same frequency. You tune in the radio or the television, and sometimes when you have the right frequency, the picture starts becoming clear. Something like that. So we have to keep on receiving our keep our antenna well and receive ideas. And once you have received them, then your other skills will come in. How to develop it? I could have quoted a number of examples of the government side. Various people in the country have done wonderful things in the state also and outside also. Just to end, I think, just one more minute. So, Jaipur food in Rajasthan, sir. You must have heard about it. Today, the Jaipur food is available else, not Jaipur food. The artificial limb is available elsewhere for 8 to 10 lakhs. Here it is provided free to the people, but it costs only 3 to 4,000. Somebody must have thought the principle of, I think I still remember one saying by Dr. Mashelkar, who is the chairman of the National Innovation Foundation. I met him once and he mentioned one thing, which I generally try to share with people wherever I go. He said, formula should be MLM. MLM means more, to produce more services, more products, more things, more from less with the minimum cost. More from less for more, for larger society, for the more people. So the formula you have to keep in mind when you know it is more from less for more. If you are able to do that in the context of Rajasthan, because crisis brings in the best. We have less, we need more. Need more for more people. So the formula I keep just in, particularly these people are all learned people, I am talking to you, that more from less for more. This should be the key to that the times to come. Wish you all the very best. The seminar, all the best. To your future, all the best. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you so much, Rajendra sir, for putting a psychological side to innovation and entrepreneurship thinking. Now it is my honor and privilege to invite chief guest for the inaugural session and seminar, Shri Rao Rajendra Singh ji, to give his inaugural speech. You know, when you are the last to speak, the least you speak is the best. I may be a great disappointment to all of you because I'm not very photogenic. But when it comes to deliberation on minds of young people, the ecology of self-balance with the proper mindset of deliberations, especially when you are in a company of such august guest list, puts the human brain to its utmost skill. So where do we start? From a formal speech or to an informal deliberation of expression? Informal. An absolute insight into what you are today. I take the lineage of being in a country who supports one of the finest civilization in this world. None better than us. History speaks for itself. Let present not devoid us of our rich heritage. The cultural mindset which has put this country into a mindset of people who started deliberating on India by what we have, not what we have in material, but let's gauge the civilization of the present day of what we have by moral values. What our tradition by way of Shastra has taught us. The tolerance is a speech, not a word, but an expression, a deliberation of leading a life. Give me one civilization which was conquered and deliberated upon for 4 centuries and it's still alive. There's not a single civilization in this world, except for one. Yes, our geographical territory was under somebody else's regime, but our psychology of moving ahead was far greater than those physical bondage. आज आपके बीच में आके संस्कार के समन्वय की उस संस्कृति का संशोधन करना चाहता हूं जो सनातन माध्यम से संपूर्ण सृष्टि को वासुदेव कुटुंबकम का मार्गदर्शन प्रदान करे। इस संस्कारों के संस्कृति के शिक्षा के व्यवस्था में इस बौद्धिक व्यायामशाला में मैं समस्त अतिथिगण आपका स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं। Somebody said at one time at the start of the 21st century, they said demography is distinct. I'm sure we all understand what demography is. They said demography is destination. The fate of nations is written in the language of population pyramid and median age. You couple the two together and you will find where India stands. Let's go back to the 19th century when Europe was converting itself into industrial revolution. Britain was lauding about it. The economist and historian Toynbee came up with this word called industrial revolution. But look at the median of Europe at that time. A very young generation who had a median age of about 25, 26, 28. Forget 19th century, let's take recollect 20th century. Where was America in 1910? A very young country. In the 19th century, from the agrarian fold, we moved to the industrial fold. In the 20th century, with a young mindset of Americans, fueled by a lot of Asians, our own brothers and sisters, became a Silicon Valley of foundation for digital technology. Where are we on the 21st century? You are the youngest country in the world. By default, you have the opportunity to do what America did in the 20th century, what Europe did in the 19th century. That's the reason we say, 21वीं शताब्दी भारत की है। I'm not trying to educate you. I'm not trying here to deliberate on a topic where probably I'll try to educate you. No, I'm not at all. Especially when we have a senior IAS officers like Ashok Jain, Mr. Bana was there, and of course, Honorable Mr. Digvijay Singh. Then you have your own way. Faculty, the director of the institute. Who could educate them? One institution by themselves. But let me tell you one thing. When in 2000, there's a book called Earth is Flat. written by Friedman, if I'm not wrong. That book was written in 2000. In 2000, this gentleman who wrote this book visited Infosys. Nandini Nilekani, who later on became a known face himself, was the CEO sir, at that time. And for the first time, they saw a screen which was large enough to take every one of you together in one. So they said, India is set. When you were toddling, India had started galloping. So in a innovative entrepreneurship, what am I trying to tell you? You have an advantage being in Rajasthan. Now I bring the entire scenario to the federal state of the Indian Union called Rajasthan. The India in the world stands to be the youngest country. So Nandini Nilekani built up he wrote a book, Imagining India. Go through that. Probably you will get the insight. A word was finally achieved quote sometime in 80s. It was called Bimaru. It had nothing to do with the physical condition of the human being, but the economic condition of 4 states: Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh. We lagged in a lot of things. The multi-dimensional human index put us on the later ladder. But let me tell you one thing. What do you enjoy today? I am adding one more state to it, Kuriyasa. The 5 of these states are the youngest states in India. What Hyderabad has taken away from you, what Bangalore is thriving on, or what Chennai or Kochi is trying to do, you can do tomorrow. They are all in the median age of 40 plus. You as Rajasthan entrepreneurs have the median age of 29. So what India can do in 21st century, the responsibility lies on the young scholars of a state called Rajasthan. Do I make my point very clear? I will try and be very simple about it because I'm not a professor. अब आप मुझे ये बताइए 1950 में 47 के बाद में जब भारत आजाद हुआ तो भारत की खाद्य सुरक्षा पर कैपिटा की क्या व्यवस्था थी? क्या हमारा फर्स्ट सेंसस फूड सिक्योरिटी पर कैपिटा अवेलेबिलिटी पर आया 1961 के आसपास 10 साल में आता. We were at 468.7 grams. 1961. Statistical Department, Government of India के स्टैटिस्टिक्स में देखेंगे आपको मिल जाएगा. What was it in 2015? 468.7 went up to 468.8. You were still not half a kg. I am talking about after Green Revolution. What was the status in 2017? 484 or 485.6. He was still a couple of grams short of. There was China, 1,000 grams plus. When we started in 1950, our production per hectare was 521 kilos or 521 kg. Today it is 2,000 plus. Yet per capita food security is less than 500 grams. What do? There was a time when the food scarcity was like ship to mouth. Today you are a surplus thanks to the Green Revolution. How will you address this? If you were to raise your food security by 200 grams, today that I am talking about in 2021-22, we were at 550. You can clap that we crossed 500 grams. If you were to increase it by 200 grams, you will require nothing less than 9 million hectares of land. Now Rajasthan comes back again, which is the biggest state today in India, is land mass. Rajasthan. आप में से सबको मैं पूछ लूं ना बिल्कुल सत्यता से, आपके कोई न कोई 3 जनरेशन पहले किसान रहे होंगे, फार्मर रहे होंगे, कृषक रहे होंगे। आपके सब मेरे फोरफादर्स थे। मैं चाहे एक रॉयल फैमिली में मेरा जन्म क्यों ना हुआ हो, लेकिन अन्य तो जमीन से ही आता था, इसलिए प्रत्यक्ष में नहीं तो परोक्ष रूप में खेती करते। अब आपसे ये पूछूं कि फूड सिक्योरिटी की डिमांड और आपके पैंडेमिक के बाद में सबसे पहला जो सवाल ये था, तो वक्त की रोटी सम्मानजनक तरीके से किस तरह से व्यवस्था की जाए। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैड टू डू इट। फूड विच इज द स्टेट चैप्टर, द एंटायर वर्ल्ड वर्क टुगेदर। We not only provided good nutrition food to every individual who was in their household, but we also provided elsewhere. अब नवाचार अगर आपका यहाँ आए कि इस रेगिस्तान को अगर आप उपजाऊ बना दें तो कैसे बनाए? We come to biofuel. Let's talk about Jaipuria. In 2006, when President Kalam was deliberating on a science congress, it's always there every year on 28th of February, go through his lecture, where he was pointing at 3 things: nanotechnology with carbon nanotubes, nanofarms, biofuel, and green clean energy, including nuclear. Because he was a man of science, so nuclear for him was also. He said, if you deliberate on these issues, you will lead. और जैसे अभी भानावत साहब फरमा रहे थे, you could be innovative. आप नवाचार कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आपका नवाचार अगर मार्केटेबल नहीं है, कॉमर्शियली वायबल नहीं, तो आपका नवाचार आपके थीसिस तक और आपके पीएचडी तक सिमट के रह जाता है। It may be a adaptation in print, but it cannot be सर्विस। एनसीडी तो भारत में ही हुआ था। कोरिया, ताइवान जैसे लोगों ने उस स्क्रीन को बना दिया, जबकि नवाचार तो आपके यहां हुआ। How commerce takes place and the innovation starts from there. You are first country to put satellites in the orbit at the most economic rate. 100 in one go. It took you 75 years to go from 400 to 500 grams, but it just took these scientists 50 years to go from land to the moon. Isn't that very enterprising? So when you look for encouragement, the encouragement is there in you. राजस्थान की धरती को अगर आप उपजाऊ बना, लेकिन एक व्यक्ति आप में से चाहे साइंटिस्ट बन जाए, चाहे एग्रीकल्चर फैकल्टी के आप क्यों हो, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी आपके पास क्यों ना हो, लेकिन मैं आपको चाहूंगा कि सुबह खेत पे जाकर खड़े रहकर उसको आधुनिक तकनीक से आप जोतना चाहते हो तो द लास्ट वन टेक दिस। मैं डॉक्टर बनना चाहता हूं, मैं अशोक जैन साहब की जैसे चीफ सेक्रेटरी बनना चाहता हूं, मैं प्रोफेसर बनना चाहता हूं, मैं एग्रीकल्चर को साइंटिस्ट बनना चाहता हूं, किसान बनना। निवासी हूँ जिसका संधि विच्छेद करोगे तो मैं उत्तर राज्य का निवासी हूँ जिसको राजस्थान कहते हैं और राज्य इस पृथ्वी को कहते हैं। और मैं इस वसुंधरा की धरा का वो प्राणी हूं, तो इस वसुदेव को अपना कुंडल मानता हूं, लेकिन अपने खाने को अपने अन्नदाता के रूप में स्वीकार नहीं करता कोई और मुझे अन्न का। Think about it. I am prepared to be interrupted because all throughout my career in politics, I have always been interrupted. And when everything was going very well, the people interrupted my travel. So basically, the logic of it's very good to see all of you smiling. So that reminds me of your director, Pankaj ji saying, happiness. सौभाग्यशाली हो कि आप खुशियां बांटते हो, खुद ईश्वर के अधीनस्थ था। वहां हाथ जोड़कर हम प्रार्थना करते थे कि हमें खुश रखो, खुशहाल रखो। यहाँ एक संस्था है जो खुशियां बांट रही है। प्रत्यक्ष में ईश्वर को नहीं देखा, निराकार है, लेकिन आपसे मैं देख रहा हूं आपकी संस्था का आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। When my time runs out, you said, let me know. That's the only investment I have, time.
Happiness, there is no time.
So basically is the entire deliberation. I mean, we are talking about a lot of things are being discussed today. श्री अन्न की भाषा आ गई जिसको मिलेट्स कहते हैं, मोटा अनाज। आप सब हम जानते हैं कि एक जमाना था, आपके हमारे ग्रैंडमदर ग्रैंडफादर, या अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा सौभाग्यशाली हो तो आपने अपने ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर उनका आहार आप देखिए, समय के ऋतु के हिसाब से उनका आहार में परिवर्तन होता था। वो बाजरा कब खाते थे, मक्का कब खाते थे, ज्वार कब खाते थे, बेजड़ कब खाते थे, शायद गेहूं तो कभी कभी जिस दिन बहुत ज्यादा आपका कोई अच्छा गेहूं खाते थे, अब गेहूं, और उस गेहूं से आप अपना दिमाग खाए। और जब आपको फिर सामने वाले का दिमाग खा रहे हैं, जितने शाकाहारी थे उतने ही वाणी की संयता में संयम जब तक नहीं है और साक्षात प्रतिपादित करने का चरित्र नहीं, तब तक नवाचार नहीं हो सकता है। नवाचार के लिए शरीर की संस्कृति के वो समन्वय की आवश्यकता होती है, जो सत्य की पराकाष्ठा पर संपूर्ण रूप से अर्पित हो, जाकर नवाचार। मैं आपको बहुत फैंसी क्लास पढ़ाऊं, मुझे शाम को किसी दुकान पर I come back to Rajasthan again, sir. What is the water per capita? Let's talk about India. When we gained independence in 1947 and 1950, we were at 5,000 plus. One census says 6,600, one says 5,000 per capita cubic meter for every. In Rajasthan, we were at 2,000. I'm sure Ashok Jain sir, aap aur Banav sir, aap bhi agree karenge, because these are all statistical. In 21-22, Rajasthan is at 526. Anything below 1,000 is alarming. And India has come down from 6,000 to 2,000 something. No, not 2,000, 1,500 something. A little more than 1,500. अब बताइए, अगर ये दोनों चीजें नहीं है तो आप नवाचार क्या करोगे? अच्छे दिमाग को भी पौष्टिक आहार चाहिए सर, और अच्छे दिमाग से आविष्कारित जो आपकी व्यवस्था है उसको भी एक स्वस्थ शरीर करिए चाहिए, प्रतिकार के स्वरूप में निर्विकार को साकार करने के लिए। इसलिए बताइए, दोनों चीज नहीं हो तो फिर क्या करो? Don't you think these are two fields which are there? आप तो इंडस्ट्री में रहे हैं बनावत साहब, हम जैन साहब, आपको भी ध्यान होगा, and you should be very sincere about it. As an industry department,
as an Rajasthan State Mineral Metals Corporation, sir, you were the first one to take carbon credit from the environmental exchange. जबकि विद्युत उत्पादन और प्रसारण निगम जो शोषण कर रही थी, उनको पता नहीं था तो है। पेड़ लगा रहे हैं सर, कार्बन सिंक ही तो है वो। व्हाट इज पेड़? पेड़ इज अ कार्बन सिंक। आप और कुछ मत कहिए, पेड़ को काट दीजिए। हर जगह में तकलीफ होती है ना। पेड़ एक बार लगा दोगे तो उसको समझ लोगे तो फिर आपको 5, 10, 20, 25 साल कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है। आप क्रिएट क्या करोगे? कार्बन सिंक क्रिएट कर लोगे। यू बिकम कार्बन इमिशन रिड्यूसर, सीईआर बन जाओगे। सीडीएम ले लेना, सीडीएम ले लोगे, कार्बन क्रेडिट मिल जाएगा। Small little countries, coastal countries, of course. Third world countries, see, they are trading in carbon sinks. They through carbon credit because all the developed countries want that. They want to set aside it. और जब कभी भी मिस्टर कैमरून कहते थे ना कार्बन क्रेडिट के बारे में, there were people from third world countries or emerging countries saying that you are trying to sell pollution. Because you are a pollutant, that's the reason you require a credit. अब आपको जेट्रोपा अगर उगाना है और जेट्रोपा जब तक आपको 40 किलो नहीं दे देगा या 4 टन प्रति हेक्टर नहीं दे देगा तब तक पॉसिबल नहीं है। क्या आपको हाइब्रिड करना पड़ेगा। But a hybrid plant should not be a water intensive plant. You will have to balance it. आपने ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन के बाद में किया क्या? आपका खाद्य उत्पादन तो बढ़ गया, लेकिन आपका ग्राउंड वाटर कहां चला गया? नवाचार तो हुआ। आपने नहीं देखे कई बार, मेरे ख्याल से आप दोनों ने तो खूब देखे होंगे। आप तो सर हमने इक्विलिप्टस उगाए, उगाते ही चले गए, किसी को पता नहीं पड़ा हम इक्विलिप्टस क्यों उगा रहे हैं। दलदल में उगना चाहिए जहां आपका वाटर लैंडिंग हो, उसके लिए इक्विलिब्रियम फॉर रिसर्च वाटर। आपने राजस्थान में हुआ या पहले से भूमि का पानी मेरे खेत में उगे, मेरे खलिहान में बगल में जो था उसको वो खत्म कर दे, और जो खाद उगलती है धरती वो उससे बची, लेकिन हमने शुद्ध ही कर दी। आप बताइए, आप यू कैन स्टार्ट। एक आपका और बड़ा एक विचित्र प्लांट है जिसको हम जूली फ्लोरा कहते हैं, जिसको हम कहते हैं अमेरिकन। इस पर तो एक्ट है, राजस्थान की विधानसभा ने बकायदा इस पर एक कानून बना रखा, अगर आप अमेरिकन बबूल उगाएंगे तो आपको प्रोत्साहन दिया जाए। साइंटिस्ट के आप अगर रिसर्च में थीसिस में देखेंगे तो सपोज टू बी अ लीडिंग बुश। मैं एक विषय देके जा रहा हूं आप कभी आप मुझे स्लाइड समझें 6-8 महीने बाद में बुलाइएगा कि आप विषय देके गए थे जूली फ्लोरा का, है क्या वो विषय क्या है। मैं कह रहा हूँ जूली फ्लोरा उगाना चाहिए या ना उगाना चाहिए, क्या इस व्यवस्था में आपके पर्यावरण में की व्यवस्था में जूली फ्लोरा का उगाना और उसको प्रोत्साहित करने का कानून उचित है या अनुचित। ये कानून ज्यादा पुराना नहीं, 1856 का या 58 का या 1700 का नहीं है, 2012 का है। क्योंकि ये कानून जब बना और इससे जो कारण, इसका कॉमर्शियल कारण ये था, वो कारण आज की तारीख में सबसे बड़ा पॉल्यूशन है। कोयले से संचालित जितने भी आपके बिजली की इकाइयां हैं, सबसे ज्यादा पॉल्यूशन है आज की तारीख, सबसे ज्यादा पॉल्यूशन फैलाती, सस्ती हो सकती है। सरकारों के नियम को तो आप रिसर्च और आपके बुद्धि के माध्यम से, दो चीज होती है, बुद्धि और एक होता है बुद्धि बल। हनुमान जी ने बुद्धि बल का बल बुद्धि भाग में थी। हम जैसे राजनेता बुद्धि इस्तेमाल करते हैं, बुद्धि से बल इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। तो बुद्धि से उस बल को इस्तेमाल कर वर्तमान राजस्थान के जनप्रतिनिधियों को, मैं किसी सरकार की आलोचना नहीं कर रहा, उसके बाद हमने सरकार में ले लिया, हमने भी कुछ नहीं किया, कम से कम से पूछे जूलियन कॉलर का क्या बताइए तो सही, और इससे किसको लाभ होता है? अच्छी खासी खेत की जमीन जो उपजाऊ होती है वो बंजर हो जाती है, इसके नीचे सामान्य घास तक नहीं होती। आपने नवाचार की बात करी, मैंने आपको एक नवाचार के लिए विषय दे दिया। अब आप बताइए, ऑलिव का नाम सुना है आपने? और एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में कहते हैं अगर कोई वर्ल्ड में सबसे बढ़िया कंट्री है जो एग्रीकल्चर को इकोनॉमिकली प्रोड्यूस के रूप में एडवांस नेचुरल फैक्टर से अगर कोई काम कर रहा है तो इजराइल कर रहा है। ये बात आप मानते हो कि एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर के अंदर प्रकृति के परिस्थितियों से भी जुड़ा करके होता है, ठीक है। ऑलिव उनका ही था, उन्होंने ऑलिव में बहुत किया, लेकिन ऑलिव की चाय किसने बनाई? राजस्थान सरकार ने बनाई। बताइए आप, ऑलिव टी व्हेन, अभी भी वही प्राइम मिनिस्टर है इजराइल में, दोबारा बन गए वो, सो भी वही थे। जब रामनाथ जी कोविंद ने उनको बुलाया इजरायली प्राइम मिनिस्टर को, तो उनके सामने उन्होंने ऑलिव की चाय राजस्थान की पेश, और वो व्यक्ति दंग रह गया। उसने कहा एग्रीकल्चर में तो हम पायनियर हैं, लेकिन चाय बनाना तो आपसे चीजें, इसलिए तो कहते चाय पर चर्चा कर लिया करो, अगर ऑलिव की चाय होगी तो ना चाय मार्केटिंग करते करते आप कहीं भी पहुंच सकते, लेकिन अगर चाय की मार्केटिंग को डिटॉक्सिंट भी होगी, नवाचार भी होगा, और कोई बहुत ही ज्यादा अपने व्यक्तित्व के आशय को स्पिरिचुअल करके, जिसके कहते हैं स्पिरिचुअल कैसे होता है, मैंने स्पिरिट्स को है, नॉट दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ स्पिरिट, but I don't laugh now what I'm going to tell you. He made the finest of the wine from olive. It is yet to be patented, and those who have tasted it, they say it is as good as champagne. That's innovation. The government has done it. It's a government enterprise. हम तो कहते हैं सरकारी संस्थाओं का कुछ नहीं होता। एलिफेंट्स हैं, ये दोनों सरकारी संस्थाओं के किए हुए। अब एक आखिरी चीज आप लोगों से निवेदन करके मैं अपनी बात को विराम दूंगा, अगर राय चाहोगे कि ये क्या सारा बिल लेगा क्या? There is a place called Run of Kutch. You are all aware of it? No, I am not trying to test your जनरल नॉलेज, मैं तो सिर्फ पूछ रहा था। 1970 में भानावत साहब आपके पास इंडस्ट्री रही है, जैन साहब आपको ध्यान, 1977 में उस वक्त के तत्कालीन मुख्यमंत्री ने एक रोड मैप बनाया, एक प्लान बनाया कि हम रन ऑफ कच्छ से अरेबियन सी को ड्राइव करके अंदर ले आए। पूरी बंजर भूमि है, रन ऑफ कच्छ इज अ मार्शी लैंड, इट गोइज अ वेस्टलैंड। Nothing happened. People were laughing. Here, ये कोई भी चीज हो सकती है। I also got a foot of that, foothold into that. I tried to pick it up in 2007. I was told to look the other way. It's too costly. If you can dredge that, create it into a canal, like a Suez canal, and bring it right up to where your oil, isn't that going to change the, I'm not talking about the pollution of the oil, I'm saying you are coming through barren lands. Can't you develop an eco-city there? An eco-city which has never ever had any sort of pollution, no chemical, nothing grows there. So the land has not been tilled through chemical fertilizers. Not a tree grows, so it's open to sky, it's a virgin land. And if you turn that virgin land, then you can go to Las Vegas and do all sorts of things there. It's the place nowhere. I mean, it doesn't give you anything but the kicks of gambling. If you could do all that just to be get the kick out of it. Let's see if you could go through it, because the government of India is again saying it's not cost effective. पर्यावरण का कभी कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव हो सकता है क्या सर? सूरज की किरणें कितने ओजोन लेयर के परतों से हुई है कि यहाँ आए, और उसके लिए हमको कुछ अपने संवेदनशील हाथों से करना पड़े, तो क्या उसकी कॉस्ट की तरफ देखेंगे, क्या जीवन की उस शैली की तरफ देखेंगे जो हमको स्वच्छ, सुंदर, सुंदर भविष्य प्रदान करती है? थैंक यू वेरी मच. Already there. Anyway, I'm grateful for the patience that you've all expressed here. May I wish all of you the best that you have, the best that the God has in store. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. You have filled the environment with a lot of energy and deliberation options. We will try to cover them all in the due course of time of this day. So with this, we conclude the inaugural session. I would like to place my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest of the day, Shri Rao Rajendra Singh Ji. May I request Dr. Prabhat Pankaj, Professor Prabhat Pankaj, to facilitate with a token of gratitude to our chief guest of the day. Now I would request our Dean Academics, Professor Kamal Saravahan, to give a token of gratitude to Shri Ashok Kumar Jain sir. We request Professor Prasan Gupta sir to facilitate Shri Rajendra Bhanavaji with a token of gratitude. And I would request our Dean Research, Shri Soumya Sahuji, to facilitate Shri Digvijay Davaria ji with a token of gratitude. I thank PhD CPI for being the associating partner for this conference. I would also like to thank all the dignitaries on the dais for sparing their valuable time out of their busy schedule to guide and bless us. Now I would request all to rise for national anthem. Thank you so much. Now we'll break for high tea, a short break of 15 minutes, and we'll assemble back to auditorium. Students can move to mess. Their high tea is arranged there. Dignitaries to 002.
Having this